on, you guys. All right, this is new. The YouTube setup is a little different. Got a new wireless mic. All right, let's check out the chat. All right, can you guys hear me? If you can, let me know. All right, this is somewhat better. I'm in the shade now. It is hot. We are in the start of summer for Arizona. So, can you guys hear me? Let me know what's up. Probably help if I get this chat pulled up. Okay. And let me check this microphone. Awesome. What's up, Tim? How you doing, buddy? I am doing good, man. Just in the process, or I just finished filming a video for the Devos Light Ranger setup. So, yeah, it's a hot one out here. It's only in the 90s, so I'm not looking forward to when it's 115 out. So, what's up, Kenny? How you doing, buddy? It's good to be back. I figured I'm not really making many videos at the moment, mainly because I'm not really doing much with the channel. I just don't want to put out filler and crap for you guys. I want to put out stuff that's meaningful and is actually entertaining to watch. So that's the main reason why I haven't been coming out with videos lately. So I figured bring back the live streams once a month, hang out with you guys, have some trail sodas, and we could talk gear. Any questions you guys got, anything like that. Tell me about your guys' builds. Since it's been like a year since I've live streamed, I'd like to hear about any improvements you guys have done to your rigs and everything like that. Do got a trail soda, some stuff that Natalie got. It's a vodka soda, peach flavor. Tim, I'm working days outside fully in the valley for this first time since I've been here. So it's going to be a rough summer for me too, man. Yeah, it's when I used to do windshields back in the day, it was horrible. I'm so glad I'm out of that now, but I guess it toughens you up. It just really, it takes a toll on the body. Luckily, we only have it for 3 or 4 months at the most, summer. This heat, at least. How you doing, Nate? Dude, I've been checking out the videos on the 22 stuff. That is awesome, dude. I'd like to get make some content on that. Maybe for the channel, maybe for, you know, starting up the Patreon, whatnot. So I can put out actual Second Amendment content and not be punished by this platform. Added some metal cloak parts to my Gladiator, small improvements over time. Yeah, dude. I mean, the Gladiator is such a good program or platform to start off with that you don't really need much to that. Like, just a nice little lift, 37s, and a nice, you know, long arm would help, or at least like a mid tier or mid arm. I don't know the lingo, but but yeah, a lot with the channel. Got the truck. I'm staring at the square body now. Some square bodies pretty much in a good spot. I do got an update on it with the diesel. Me and Natalie took that thing out camping, and it's a turd. It is a absolute nightmare to drive on the highway. Like, just to let you guys know, it's so underpowered, it's ridiculous. I could throw a turbo on it and do some other things, but it's not really worth it in my opinion for a 40-year-old diesel. So my plan is, some people might hate me, but I'm gonna go LS swap. I'm actually getting one built currently. I will come out with a like video of me talking about it. But yeah, that's kind of the plan at the moment. All right, let me catch up on these comments. Sorry, fellers. Sector shaft brace and rear sway bar reinforcing plate. Not bad. I know. Yeah, the sector shaft. I'm guessing for the steering box. That's a huge improvement because I mean it makes the frame more rigid and everything. Rear sway bar reinforcing plate. Yeah. Yeah. Do they make a quick disconnect rear sway bars for that, Nate? I don't. I know. With the Jeep, I just pulled mine off completely when I swapped in the 8.8, but I wonder how that is with the Gladiator being coils in the rear. Tim, the square body has been looking great. I appreciate it, dude. It's at a very good spot right now. I'm extremely happy with it other than that power issue. Like what I just seen Nate said, turbo, pricing everything out, it's not really worth the juice isn't worth the squeeze in in a sense with the adding a turbo to that 6.2 and everything, because even adding a turbo and all the power adders, I'm gonna be at maybe a third of the power of what I'm gonna have in that LS, because I'm getting the LS built by a racing shop, so it's gonna have more than enough power to tow a trailer, so I can continue on my trailer build that I started like 2 years ago. Tow around the Jeep possibly one day if I build that thing up to a trailer queen to take rock crawling. Be able to tow a legit camping trailer, any of our gear, be able to do any of that without it feeling like a plug on the highway with hazards on and whatnot, like how I was with the diesel. So Kenny, I'm slowly building my one XJ and I want to go a long arm set. What would you recommend? I've been running the Iron Rock off-road long arm kit for, gosh, it's well over 2 years now. And it was such a drastic difference with the dual rate coils from Metal Cloak and that long arm that I thought I did something wrong. Just how smooth it rode compared to the short arm lift and the rough country coils I had on it when I very first lifted it. I thought I messed something up, but double checked all of the hardware, made sure all my angles were great, and that thing rides like a dream. So I cannot recommend the Iron Rock long arm, the Rock Link. I'm looking at it also, it's parked right next to the truck. The Rock Link kit, enough. I've used those long arms as pretty much sliders, sliding down obstacles, and all it does is gouge them up and scrape off a little powder coat, and that's it. So the Rock Link kit, couldn't recommend it more from Iron Rock Off-Road. It is a little pricey, but you get what you pay for with that thing. Nate, turbo, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't worth it, dude. So, because I'd have to do head studs, turbo, get a different injection pump to make up for that turbo, different injectors. I'd pretty much have to buy like a crate 6.5 and then add all of that to it, because the main webs on the block crack because the metallurgy of the 6.2 back in the day when GM was making them. The main webs and everything would crack on those blocks, and it would give you issues. So I'd pretty much have to buy a crate 6.5 and then add all of that to it. And with that setup, I'd have half the horsepower of this LS that I'm building for the truck. So it's going to be it's a 6-liter I bought. It was a LQ4 block out of like a 2003 2500. LQ4 block, so the iron block. I got the heads redone with brand new valves, everything like that, springs. I got it machined out, so it's not a 6-liter anymore. It's a 6.7 liter, so it's a monster. I got a stage 2 cam. Uh, Forged internals, rods, connecting rods and pistons are forged. Um, Pretty much everything, dude. I had to buy a bare block, and then I just gave it to the builder, and he gave it to the machine shop, and it's gonna be nuts, dude. The guy's telling me it's gonna have like 5 to 550 horsepower at the crank, and between 4 and 450 at the wheels. So it's more than enough. um, I pretty much told the guy, like, hey, all of my vehicles, my entire life, like the Jeep and the square body, have just been slow. So I kind of want something capable and fast, but also reliable. So he said I should be able to get the life out of this motor and finally not have something that's slow for the highway driving. Tim, dude, it is worse than the XJ. Just let you know, since you're familiar with Arizona, the hill climb going up Mount Ord on the way to Payson, I'd go about 45, 50 in the Cherokee, just trying to hammer it up that hill. This square body, I was 30 miles an hour with the pedal to the floor in the very right lane. Like there was 18 wheelers passing me. So it's not only is it just a complete turd on the highway, it's kind of a hazard at that point. Vehicles speeding up to pass you, and I don't want to get rear-ended by a truck that's in a hurry going up that hill. So it was bad, dude. Like very bad. And that's with the 410 gears in the axles and everything like that, just giving me issues. So I figured building this square body, I've already done the suspension and the axles and everything. Um, it's pretty much brand new underneath with the axles and all that. So the only thing that would make it a brand new truck to me is the drivetrain. So I figured over the next however many months, I'm gonna get the motor built and get everything put together and built and ready, and then I'll put it all inside the truck. And instead of spending, I don't know, 60 to 80 grand on a truck uh, that has that kind of power and new everything underneath, I'll just drop this into the square body, and it gives me my new truck for a fraction of the price. So it's kind of my justification with it, so it feels better in my mind and my heart. uh, Kenny, what Metal Cloak dual rates did you go with? So in the beginning, I had the 4-inch, and that was great. And then I went up to a 6-inch, and it's the same coils, just 4 inches to 6 inches. Didn't really make too much of a difference because I went with 3.5-inch leafs and then a 2.5-inch shackle to give me that 6 inches, of lift, and it's rides great, rides super smooth. I don't have the tent, I don't have anything on the Jeep right now, and it rides amazing on the highway. Last time I looked at Metal Cloak, they only had the 4-inch spring. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a while since I've been on their site, so they might have got rid of the 6-inch. If you just use the TJ coils, it's the same thing as the Cherokee if they do have the 6-inch for the TJ. So that should be good for you. Hopefully they have that for you. It'll be way cooler than a new expensive truck. Yeah, just the only difference would be I don't have AC in it yet. So once I get the LS swapped in there and everything, it'll actually be wintertime, I'm hoping. Wintertime of this year, I could get everything swapped in and squared away. So then I won't need AC, and I could just get a heater in it. And then by this time next year, I'll be throwing AC in it. So kind of pushes AC back a year for me. But other than that, yeah, it's very straightforward swap. I'm not going too wild, no turbo, no nothing on the LS. It's all naturally aspirated. Looking it up, like the swap kits for these square bodies are extremely easy, and cheap compared to other swaps, like if I would have swapped a 12 valve into the truck. In my opinion, the 12 valve would have been cooler, but it would have been a harder swap because I'm LS. Everyone has done LS, so that's kind of the reason why it'd be easier, and kits are more plentiful, information's more plentiful, everything like that. LS sounds good. Yeah, my buddy he got a motor built from the same company. He actually recommended me to him. He's gonna have 650 at the wheels, and with his exhaust on the truck, it sounds like a drag vehicle almost, like it's a race truck practically, and it sounds insane. Like with that LS in it, and that's a 2002 Chevy 25 or 1500 HD, swapping that into, and it's insane, his build. So I'm just kind of doing a baby version of that for this square body. And realistically, with the LS in there, I'm going to keep the dual tanks. So dual tanks with that LS, I shouldn't have any issues with driving this thing anywhere we want compared to the diesel. Since parts are way more plentiful for the LQ4, the 6 liter, and everything like that. I don't see issues with me and Natalie going to other states for camping and stuff like that, because I'll actually have the power to get out of the valley and be able to, take whatever we want, since it's a full-size truck with that much power now. So we're definitely planning some trips to other spots. And then we do have Natalie's Tacoma that you guys seen in the thumbnail. So to answer your question, PNW exploration, we are going to do more overland trips, at least for the summer, in Natalie's Tacoma, which is over there. We're just going to be real bare bones overlanding out of that thing, so we could get Natalie's truck on the trail. We'll be camping out of the swag, still have a lot of our gear, just really pared down. But our plan is to definitely do a lot of overlanding trips and camping trips over the summer. And then in the meantime, I'll be coming out with videos for the LS swap into the square body. So then we can kind of do both overland trips, build videos on the LS swap, and then once the square body is good to go, we're gonna be taking that thing to some wild trips. Other states: Utah, New Mexico. I'd like to hit Colorado, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, places like that. We'll just need to take the time off work, and that'll be the only restriction we have now. My Pilot still doesn't have working AC. I'll just let it sit in the summer. This summer, my goal is to get that lift on it finally. That's gonna be awesome, dude. That Pilot's gonna be sweet lifted, dude. I can't wait to see it. I know. I mean, if you wrench on it during the summer, there's no need for AC because it's down, and then once it cools down, all you need is the heater. So I don't blame you there. That's kind of been my philosophy with this square body. I'll still drive the square body to work just to keep it mobile, not put it down on bricks like I did with the axle swap. So I'll still be driving it around. I might take it out on a couple trips or a trip or two while I'm building up all these parts. But yeah, it's definitely getting an LS. I'm excited for it. 50-gallon fuel tank, 40. Two 20-gallon tanks. I thought about, because they have the K5 Blazer tank swap that you could put between the frame rails in the back. I thought about, it would have been crazy, but thought about doing that also, so then I'd have 3 fuel tanks, and I could just have like the LS tank with the sender to the motor, and then I could have 2 different pumps hooked up to switches to go from like my 20-gallon saddle tank and then my 30-gallon K5 Blazer tank all into that, and that would give me 70 gallons of fuel. which would be wild, but that is a lot of weight. That is a ton of weight for that square body. 70 gallons of fuel. So I think the 40 more than enough, because there's always a gas station. So 40 gallons of fuel will be more than enough for me. Awesome, that exciting. I appreciate it, man. I know Natalie has family in Oregon, Nate, and PNW. Natalie has family in Washington. So the plan is to get this square body good to go, and then maybe next year take a trip and hit both of them so we can all hang out. I know she has her family in Oregon is around, I want to say Corvallis area. I'm not entirely sure. Corvallis area. I'd love to check out that area. And then in Washington, she has family over by the coast. I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but over by the coast. So we can check out the coast. I'd like to check out all that rainforest and all those trails out there. And we went up to Oregon once for a wedding, and it was some of the greenest greens I've ever seen in my entire life. Like compared, coming from Arizona up to there, it's crazy. Not needing to water your lawn, not any of that. It seems pretty a good change of pace. Um, I just don't think I could agree with some of the politics, I'd say. If you come up to Washington, I could give you some cool destinations. That'd be cool, man. We could even go camp out for a night. Hit Oregon, camp out with Nate. Hit Washington, camp out with you. That'd be awesome, dude. Go up there and see some of the different spots. I'd like to hit Idaho too, because I'd like to meet Tim, the heavy metal off-road. His company, I have their bed rack for the square body. I'd like to meet him, Northern Washington, or Idaho, my bad. So we can go from Washington, Oregon, Idaho, or whatever way, and then head down through Utah area, and then hit home. Maybe take a couple weeks off work and go do all of that. If you decide to do the K5 tank thing, let me know. My boss has a lot of K5 Blazer parts sitting around. Awesome, dude. Yeah, that'd be great, because the only thing I'd use from the K5 tank is just the sender, and then I'd have a transfer pump. So I could just transfer it from there to the LS tank, or from one tank to another, and then one to another, or whatever. It's just, that is a lot of weight. And then I would have to pull the bed off the truck to do that. And with the tent, the awning, the shower, and the tire jack, my whole setup in the bed, it would probably take me a weekend just to remove everything off of the truck to get access to the frame. So kind of just want to do all these swaps with the bed still on the truck, just so it doesn't take me a whole weekend and 5 or 6 different people to pull all of that off of the bed itself. So I think my plan is just to keep it there on the bed, do a lot of the fuel stuff, video stuff, and everything outside of the vehicle, and then I could just slap it up into the truck and run my lines. And with all the research I've been doing, it doesn't seem like that bad of a swap. It seems like the biggest issue is just going to be pretty much trying to just get it all built, and then once I get it in there, figure out the electrical and little stuff like that. Let me check. What do they got here? They got new settings and garbage since it's been a year since I've been in here. Okay. I'll be doing the Washington BDR this year. It's a trail that goes from Oregon to Canada. That's nuts. I know There's a guy I follow, or I'm subscribed to him on YouTube. It's a Willamette Motor and Fab. He has a Suburban with a 6.5 in it, and he did I want to say Oregon BDR last year, and now he's, I think, in the process of doing the one in Nevada. And the Oregon one looked nuts, dude. Like that, driving through Oregon like that. Um, some of the most remote backcountry you could be in, and honestly, that's what I live for. Just getting away from everything, not having people around for miles, and just actually experiencing nature how it should be. Okay. Smash that like button. Yeah, come on, hit the likes. We got 9 people watching. I appreciate it. I'm surprised that many of you guys are watching after taking a year off of live streaming. I was expecting like 2, 3, maybe. The parents, the wife watching, and then just me talking to them. Yeah, that's I camped on the Oregon BDR last night. Nice, dude. How far of a trip was that from the general area where you live, Nate? Not too far, hopefully. I know we got the Arizona BDR, and I would like to do that. A lot of it is kind of remote. A lot of it kind of follows a highway, like heading up to Flagstaff, but you're like east of a highway for quite a ways. Um, yeah, starting off at the border, I think that'd be great. We'd have to figure out the time of year to do it, because, if it's cool enough down here in the valley, it's going to be too cold up north. And too cold up north, there's going to be snow, so forest roads would be shut down because of all the snow. So we'd have to time it at the perfect time to go hit that. But it's crazy, the BDR going all the way from Mexico to Canada. That's nuts. We are lucky to have that in the US. Solo trip about 4 hours one way. Yeah, that's definitely a good way to get away from everybody. Get as far off the grid as possible, and kind of, I like going on multiple day trips because it kind of resets my internal clock with like my sleep schedule, just the stress relief of being outside like that, even if you're not doing anything, checking anything out or whatnot, just going in nature, kind of just gives me a reset, takes away a lot of stress, and you know, I guess an escape from the hustle and bustle in life, just even if it's for a weekend. It's a huge reset. I know, kind of get back to the vehicles a little bit. I know I've been doing a lot of square body content. Uh, the Jeep isn't really, it's not going anywhere, like I said in the bed rack video. I have a lot of plans for that. I just wanted to get these square bodies squared away and in a good spot so we can continue to go on trips. And then I'm going to really dive into the Jeep. My ultimate plan, I like to do 1 tons, 1 ton axles, 40s, beadlocks like the square body, um, maybe a new motor, uh, um, just so it has a good drivetrain in it. I replaced the transmission like 25,000 miles ago, so that's more than fine. It's just I broke that stud on the exhaust, so I figured if I'm gonna do 1 tons 40s, make it a crawler. I like to do a new motor in it, maybe get a motor built, maybe do a stroker in that, just so it's has that power. So if I ever do want to drive it on the highway to go rock crawl it, then it does have the power to push them 40s. Probably going to go with 14 bolt rear like the square body, some type of kingpin front axle, maybe out of a Ford, just so I know that strength, and I've done a kingpin before, so kind of pretty familiar with it. It's just that's a process. I know
pretty much this year, and some of next year is going to be for the square body to get that into a comfortable overlanding rig that'll do whatever we want. And then from there, it'll be the XJ. And then I do have another project after that. That's more of a street vehicle, but it has a lot of importance to me that when that time comes, we could get into that. That'll be a great project, and it'd probably be a crawler hauler for the Cherokee. Road sodas and steaks in the woods to clean the soul. Yes, dude. Yes. Plenty of trail sodas when we get to camp. Maybe one or two when you're airing down. Whatever. If you're off road going slow, just don't hit the highway, I guess. Reubens, steaks, baked potatoes, good views, cooler weather, all of that, dude. I know me and Natalie, we're gonna try to go on a trip here soon. We got Overland Expo coming up. We're not gonna be there camping because we camped last year and that was fun, but I'd rather just go for a day, and then that money saved from Expo will go towards the truck build, and then we could take some of that money also and go on overlanding trips out of Natalie's Tacoma. Muted the mic for a second. My allergies are going insane. Chevy Sonic content. Honestly, I've thought about deleting that video. That video has gotten a lot of views, surprisingly. I want to build that thing out. It's my daily, so it makes me the money to dump into the other vehicles. So I've kind of just designated it to the daily driver for the meantime. And then maybe one day I could, like, if I get another daily, I could turn that into like a gambler. That'd be sweet. Lift it, keep the turbo, the 1.4 liter, the manual, and then turn into like a Gambler 500 type vehicle. Once it really gets a lot of miles on it and I get another daily, that I could take to work and back to help fund the never-ending list of projects. I've had probably half a dozen people comment on that video going, what's going on with the Sonic, any updates, anything you're doing? And I want to comment back and just going, hey, the project's kind of dead at the moment, but at the same time I want to keep it alive because you never know what's going to happen. I could go get a new daily driver little car to take me to work and back, and then just spend a weekend lifting that Sonic. So I want to keep the dream alive for that, but I know the square body and the Cherokee will be a lot better projects in the meantime. That'd be one crazy build. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Tons, 40s, 513s, 538s. Might even go bigger in 40s. I just want to keep it a lower center of gravity. I don't want a super tall, tippy type vehicle, so I figured keep it 6 inches of lift for the Cherokee, but do like 40s, and then do some bump stops to limit the up travel, just so the tires don't eat the body of the vehicle. I guess with full width axles, with the tons, they're like 6 or 8 inches wider than what's under it now. So I could do 8 inches of lift and it'll still look like how it sits now with 6 inches. So I might end up going up to maybe 8 inches of lift, keeping the long arm, keep the leafs in the back until maybe one day I go 4-link or whatever in the rear, but just keep the leafs in the rear to keep it simple. 8 inches in the front, long arm still, and then full width axles with like 40s or 42s or whatever. It seems like tires keep going up, like 35s are the new 33s, 37s are the new 35s, and so on and so forth. So maybe I'll do like a 40 on the square body, 42s on the Jeep, maybe. I think I need a tire sponsorship at that point. Gosh. I ended up doing a Curry 44 in the front and a G2 Core 44 in the rear. Wish I would have done 1 tons. That was kind of my plan, is if I was going to keep the axles it has, just keep the 8.8 in the rear, then do like a Curry 44 for the front. But honestly, with the prices of 1 tons now, getting them from junkyards and part outs and stuff, and then you don't really need a lot. You just need to the front axle is the most expensive. You just got to cut everything off it and do your brackets and everything. The rear is easy. You just got to weld the tubes to the diff and then leaf hangers, or yeah, leaf hangers and shock mounts. So that's pretty easy. It's just the front axle is what costs you, and then you got to get different drive shafts, different steering, track bar, all of that. Frame plating, especially with an XJ, do a lot more frame reinforcements, stuff like that. But that's what's costs you. Buying the axles outright is cheap. Just building them up to get them to swap into a Cherokee where everything's correct with angles and geometry is where it gets a little expensive. So it probably costs as much as doing tons as your G2 and Curry setup, but with the standard width of the wheel mount surface of the Curry and the G2, I think it makes it a little bit more streetable, a little bit easier to drive on the road compared to 1 tons and whatnot. Just messing with you on the Sonic. Once the Jeep sells, I'm about to buy a similar daily. I don't blame you, dude. I've put 120,000 miles on that Sonic. I've had it about 7 or 8 years now, and I literally just drive it to work and back, like 40-50 mile round trip every day, and it's been great. Get 36 miles to a gallon, so it definitely saves me a lot of money to fill up the Jeep and the truck, and yeah, can't beat it. I think my plan is to get something similar, maybe a little Toyota, just so it lasts me even longer. But the way I drive this Sonic, it should last me quite a bit longer, unless some catastrophic happens. But that is the plan so far on the truck. The only thing I really want to change on the truck is the LS, and then interior stuff, make it more comfortable for us. AC. I want to do vinyl floor, sound deadener, insulation, just like what I did on the Jeep, so it's quieter on the inside, cooler, warmer. Other than that, the square body is pretty good. Maybe do another auxiliary battery, so it has twice the power. I'd like 200 amp hours of power instead of 100, so I can not have to have the anxiety of needing to start the truck to charge the batteries or even do the solar panel. I can just pull up to camp if it's a weekend and just run off my house batteries, and should easily be able to handle everything without doing solar. And then if I do solar, it's just a plus. Other than that, huge updates on the Cherokee when the time comes. 1 tons, 40s, new motor. Other than that, roll cage, just stuff like that. Just a lot of updates, little updates with the channel or future projects I want to do. Other than that, overlanding trips out of Natalie's Tacoma. That thing is fun. I like how it looks. She got a set of methods with the bronze that are like in the thumbnail for the live stream, and they look great on that truck. She has 32s on it, 31s, sorry. Just stock tire size, so it still has all the manners on the road. She doesn't have to worry about gearing or any of that. We went out camping, or that trip I took to square body camping. She was in the Tacoma following me. She had her hazards on while we were on the highway behind me, just to give people a warning. But all of the trails that we took to get to our camp spot her truck handled it no problem. No scraping, no issues like that. So whatever we throw at it during the summer here, it should be able to handle it, and we'll be able to do some cool trips. Get out of the valley. I'm looking at a first gen Honda Fit. I just don't know how I feel about our driveway only having 3 Hondas in it. Yeah, God, you might need to keep the Jeep just to switch it up a little bit. I don't know. I mean, Hondas are reliable, but yeah, you'd have a Fit. I think you have the van and then the Pilot. Might need a Ridgeline, dude. Maybe that's on the next. You get rid of that Pilot and just get a Ridgeline, Tim. Why not? Yeah, dude. Her Tacoma, it's the TRD off-road. I had to look at the bed of it. TRD off-road has the locker, the crawl control, everything. Like it does not need a lot, and she only wants like a mild build. I think she just wants to do like maybe a 2 or 3 inch lift, 33s, re-gear it slightly higher to make up for the 33s, a little winch in the front, and that's it, because it's Natalie's daily, so she doesn't want to have it too wild, because that's what we have the Jeep and the square body for. She just wants to make it so if she goes camping with a friend, which her friend has a Subaru, she could keep up with her friend and they could get to some cool spots to have some girl overlanding camping trips, some girl trips. It is a fun little truck though. I'll bet it was irritating for her to be driving so slow in the Taco. I know she likes to drive fast. Dude, it hurt my soul when we were driving up that hill, 30 miles an hour, pedal to the floor. Just the 6.2 was screaming. But we were on the phone and she goes, maybe we could just use the square body for camping trips close to the house. And then we could use my truck for going to farther stuff. And I was like, oh, like it just hurt hearing that. Because, I don't know, I built it to go expeditions, far stuff, technical stuff, whatever is thrown at it. And then hearing that, hey, let's just camp close to the house because it's not capable enough to drive the highways. It's fun off road, it just can't drive highways. And I was like, all right, I gotta do something now. I gotta motor swap it, I gotta do something. And then turned out the cheapest route was just a full LS swap with building it too. So I guess it'd be even cheaper if I just bought a straight 6.0 and swapped it in, but building the motor out to something more that has more power to tow and do all of that made it a little bit more expensive, but it's definitely still cheaper than a 12 valve or a 12 valve, cheaper than a 12 valve or building up a 6.5. So I was like, all right, something's got to give. So it was a LS. Yeah, dude, words that would cut any man. Yeah, it almost had to pull over and cry, dude. Like just a single tear. It was rough hearing that. It was definitely made me think though, I gotta do something with this truck. If me and Natalie are gonna take it out, take the dogs camping, well, I gotta do something to this thing. 4 kids and a wife won't fit in a Ridgeline. Very true. Yeah, they fit in a Pilot, especially a lifted Pilot. I can't wait to see that thing, dude. You gotta let me know. Slinging steel. No worries, dude. I'm going for another, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, and then me and Natalie got some chores to do. Just get everything ready for us to work next week. And yeah, we'll live stream for another 15, 20 minutes. I want to think if I have, or I'm trying to think if I have any new like pieces of gear I picked up. Everything's been pretty good for us so far. I do have the geyser shower setup that we've been using. No issues with that. That thing's been great. We got the one that doesn't heat up water. There's kind of no point to it. When we have a jet boil, we could just boil some water and it's a lot cheaper for the non-heated version. That's great for us. I do have to buy a bigger tire table. The one that fits on the Jeep would work great for the Jeep or Natalie's truck, but with the 37s on the square body, I have to buy the XL tire table. So that's a piece of gear that we're going to get at Overland Expo. Uh, Other than that, like Natalie has this down blanket that she picked up that works great. I want to get one of those for me so it reduces the amount of bedding we have. Um, it's been quite, just from the one trip that we've taken in the square body, it's been quite a difference in packing and thinking about your gear. Because with your gear in the Jeep, you can just throw it in the Jeep. It's all covered. It's not going to get dirty or dirty or wet or anything like that. So that's some things we've been really thinking about for the square body since it's a single cab, just how to keep things dry. Mainly, I picked up a very big ARB wet dry bag, or it's a waterproof bag that we put all of our bedding in and still toss into the bed of the truck. That worked great for us because it did rain on our one camping trip in the square body. It rained, so it kept everything dry. Even the inside of the bag was dry when we just set it in the bed of the truck and closed it. Uh, We're using those big red Husky totes from Home Depot to put our cook gear in and everything like that. Uh, Other than that, just throwing a lot of stuff in the cab of the truck once we get to camp. But even having the fridge in the fridge slide in the bed, no issues with it. Even when it rained like crazy and it was very windy. Didn't affect it at all. I was actually surprised. I thought I was going to fry the fridge in that rainstorm, but it did just fine. But it's just a lot of stuff like that. Been kind of it's a totally different change going from a small Cherokee to a full-size pickup, and it's just a lot of stuff you have to adapt, a lot of things that you would never think about before when it comes to keeping stuff dry and clean, not as dusty. Our geyser setup, we would usually take that and just set that in the Jeep in the back somewhere. I got one of the Harbor Freight Apache hard cases that I took all the foam out of and set that geyser shower in it and locked it up, and that works perfect. So, if it's bumping around in the bed of the truck or anything, it doesn't get destroyed, and it's protected from any dust or rain since it is a electronic piece or uses power and has a motor and all that. Sling and steel. I was going to do an LS swap on my K10, but I ended up getting a Gen 4 7.4 Vortec. Nice, dude. Yeah, this 6 liter, I got it for a good price. It was just a bare block, no issues with it. It just didn't really have a lot of stuff or really anything with it. No accessory drive, no heads, no nothing. It's just a bare block. So pretty much I'm in the process of researching and needing to buy everything to bolt onto the block. I should be getting that motor in the next like 2 weeks. I'm guessing they've already had it a couple weeks at the machine shop, and then they're going to build it. They're pretty fast about building it. So once it's built, I'm going to start filming the build series on completely building the motor. So it's a completed block or completed 100% motor on the on the uh, on the engine stand, and then from there I was going to get a 4L80E transmission, get that built, set that to the side, I'm going to keep the transfer case that's in the truck now, so I'll get that adapted to the 4L80E, set that to the side, and then get every other little thing I need for the fuel system and whatnot, and then get that swapped into the truck fully. And it'll just be another build series that I'll make a playlist for, and it should go pretty smooth. I have about 20 different tabs open on my phone right now in the Safari browser of different parts and whatnot to build this motor. So it should be a pretty straightforward swap for everything. And swapping it into an old truck, uh, I don't need to worry about a lot of the electronics. So I was going to go with a Holley LS or a Terminator system. Holley Terminator system that hooks up to the transmission and the motor. And then is going to be expensive, but instead of trying to buy gauges and rewire it all up, I was just going to use the tablet. They sell a big tablet that you could do all of your speedometer, RPMs, everything on, and just have a huge tablet on the dash. So then I can see all of that without needing to wire in gauges and everything. So it'll be pretty modern looking on the inside for the instrument cluster, and then once you pop the hood, it'll have that LS and everything. I just need to gather parts, kind of like what I did with the axles. I've been trying to figure out how to store things in my truck to keep dry. Yeah, that's been the biggest hurdle, dry and clean. So what I figured out is a lot of totes, like gasket, waterproof totes, and a lot of like wet dry bags with zippers to help keep things as clean as possible. Some things we can't really avoid, like our Devos lights, the container or the zip up heavy duty bag for it. That's extremely dirty because it got rained on and then it was sitting there in the mud, and so it's like a lot of those things we can't really avoid. But I guess you gotta just, if you want to run a bed rack or an open bed, then you gotta just kind of figure out what you can sacrifice getting dirty and you could clean up later. And if you're gonna run a truck topper, then you should be good to go. There's a lot of parts out there to do LS swap on the square bodies now, and a lot of information. Tons of information online. A lot of stuff on YouTube, so I've just been watching a lot of videos. I just don't really want to make anything for the channel yet, just because I don't have anything yet. Once I get the motor and it's on the engine stand, I'm going to start coming out with those videos on building it fully, and then go over why, come out with a legit video on why I'm doing all of that for the square body, and my philosophy behind it, I guess. So we will go for, what are we, 53 minutes in? Wow. I forgot how fast these go, these live streams. We'll go for a little bit longer, another 5-10 minutes, then we'll call it. We'll keep up the same schedule every third Sunday of each month. Well, maybe next month I might have to do it the second Sunday, because that, I think the Overland Expo is the third Sunday of next month. Unless I try to live stream at the expo. Hard because there's bad service up there. So I might watch that or might do a live stream the second Sunday of that next month, and then keep it going. 4 p.m. Arizona time, Mountain Standard Time. Try to keep you guys informed in between videos on the channel. Do you ever watch Merrick's Garage? Yeah, that guy's Suburban is nuts, dude. Like, that thing was when I first was going to do the 1-ton swap on the square body, that was my main motivation. And watching all of his content on how he built his Dana 60 and 14 bolt and the whole route he's going, he's the main reason why I want to do the off-road design leaf springs on the square body. Once I have the motor in and everything, go with those leaf springs, just custom, so it rides as smooth as possible on the highway. And then I've been looking at those ADS shocks he got. Get a set of those ADS shocks since they're local. They're down in Tucson for me, so I could drive down there, maybe get them ordered, and then go back down there and install them on the truck or something. But yeah, he's a huge inspiration for the square body. Willamette Motor and Fab with his Suburban. Um, there's a few other channels I'm watching just LS swap wise, but like capable off-road square bodies, it's definitely those two. Hopefully one day my square body will be as popular or as cool as theirs, but I just gotta come out with more videos for it, more off-roading stuff, everything like that. But theirs are definitely next level compared to mine and suspension and a lot of the other parts used. But I think having a capable square body overlanding truck is my goal, and then have the Jeep as the rock crawler. So it'll still be a Cherokee channel, square body channel, but have a good blend of both. Thanks, PNW. Appreciate it, man. I will, yeah, next month. Thank you so much for watching. Means a lot to me. All you guys watching, liking the channel, liking the videos, subscribing, everything. That means so much. I know I haven't been as active as I wanted, or as I want. I haven't put out a video in like a month, so I know it's been a little bit of time. But I definitely want to start posting on the community tab more, just giving you guys updates of everything that's going on in between videos, and then doing more live streams. It's just it's hard with life, working and trying to put out content and for YouTube, and it gets to be a lot. So it's got to find that balance. So it's been a little bit of time for me, but I'll get back into it, making videos, and just want to make stuff that are I want to make videos and content that's actually beneficial and interesting to you guys, not just I have to put something out, it's been a week, and just throw something at the wall and hopefully it sticks. I don't really want to do that. I want to put out stuff that you guys would enjoy watching and actually find meaningful or entertaining, not just, something to put out because it's been a week or whatnot. ORD parts are mostly what I'm using. Yeah, I'm gonna use their LS swap with their cross member motor mounts. Um, I thought about, since I'm pulling the engine out of the truck, I kind of want to go through Rob Bonney Fab. He makes a 12 valve swap stuff for the square bodies, but he has a frame box-in kit that would be awesome. It's a full kit that you could do from either, well, you just do the front, the middle, or the entire length of the truck. If I pull the bed off the truck, if I have to for fuel system, I'm gonna do that and then pull the motor and just kind of gut the entire truck and clean the frame and the engine bay and everything, and then I think I'm gonna box the frame. Fully box the frame or gusset it just to make it as strong as possible. Maybe like every 6 to 8 inches. I could do like a piece of C channel that'll fit inside the frame, and then I could just like weld it, do some beads to help hold it all in place. So if I don't want to fully box the frame, then I could do just a chunk of C channel, maybe 3-4 inches long, just along the frame rails, and then fully box it in like in that way. That should add a lot of strength, and it shouldn't be nearly as expensive. I could just buy some C channel or get some C channel cut up from a local shop, slide it inside the frame and weld that on there. So that's a possibility, just to add strength, or do the box-in kit from Rob Bonney Fab. So I guess I just need to see my options, price-wise and labor-wise. When I'm doing all this too is a huge factor. With the axle swap, last summer, this time last year, I was doing a lot of the stuff for the axle swap, and it was horrible in the heat. So I think I want to keep that to a minimum, just because it sucks sweating. I'm just sweating like crazy trying to film a video. Makes it pretty horrible. So I'll just need to kind of see what time of year I'm doing this, and when that time comes, and the price too. Yeah, Alcan is who makes ORD leaves. Yeah, I think I would like to get Alcan leaves for Natalie's Tacoma too. Maybe a little bit of helper leaves if she's going to start throwing gear in the bed of it, just to help with the suspension. And then I could do Alcan leaves for the Cherokee when the time comes, and then get those for the square body. Just try to make any vehicle that has leaf springs as smooth as possible on the road and off road. Um, I think that'd be a great plan. Get a custom set of leaves for the Cherokee. Just go through ORD for the square body, and then get them for Natalie's truck. Get like the pre-made ones or whatever for whatever lift she wants to do there. It's a lot of plans for the channel. Not going anywhere, obviously. Gonna do more live streams, more posts, do more videos. Uh, Let me know too if you guys want me to just do videos on like gear. I could do some gear videos on just like the gear we take on trips, the stuff we have. You know, been doing this for a few years now, so I can have give you guys my input on gear if you're just getting started or whatnot. But yeah, we're not going anywhere for 2A Overland. I am done with my drink, so usually that is the signal to end the live stream. So I will cut the live stream off. Thank you guys so much for watching, tuning in. I really appreciate it. Comment down below if you want me to do anything new to the square body, if you like the LS swap route, anything like that. And I will catch you guys in the next video and the next live stream.